with quorum, call to order. We have Nicole is traveling, Dan is ill, everyone else is here. So we do have a quorum, and we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have meeting minutes from our August, I think, 13th meeting. I wrote my memory
Make a
right.
motion to approve the minutes from August 13th.
There's a first, is there a second?
Second.
Any comments on the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We have an agenda in front of you. We don't itemize out board committee reports, but I understand, Julie, you've got a civil plan.
Claims, yeah, just a committee report, yeah.
So, can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Make a motion with the addition of the report.
I'll second it.
All right, any more comments? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Agenda is approved. Andy, community celebrations and.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. One of the things, as I mentioned last meeting too, with our school district enrollment that I typically report on, we will hold off until school starts next week and we get our first draw from the state of Minnesota in October. And then I will work with our district office staff to certify those numbers and where we're at. A lot of updates on buildings and grounds. Tyler had a lot of information for me. Our gymnasium project is complete with a few just final touch-ups that need to be done there. So we're excited for the public to get to experience those updates with the new paint and resurfacing the floor. It looks like a new floor. We did not replace the wood or anything in it. It was a surface resurfacing as stated. Our playground project here at the elementary is ready for students as they come back to school here next week. We had some unexpected replacements of things over the summer, but our team has done a great job to make sure all those things are ready for the school year. Things like large storage water tank at the elementary here was removed and replaced by two smaller tanks as recommended by the contractor. We had some emergency repair of the hot water tank at the junior senior high school as well as the sump pump at the junior senior high school. With the new replacement to the sump pump that was overwhelmed early in the summer with all of our heavy rains. And now we have an alarm system on that as well. Unfortunately, that also...
The one is just our Eid Bailey payment, $37,800, and that is for fiscal year 24 audit that we are still working on, but getting close to completing. So
That's the total amount.
that should be the total amount that we owe, correct?
Sounds good. I'll make a motion then to approve the wire transfers for August 8th, 2024 to August 21st, 2024, and the August 27th, 2024 bills.
I'll second.
We have a first and a second. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion to accept the financials, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right. No old business. On to new business. This would be item 9A on your agenda. Title I services. Jessica, do you want to give a brief overview of what those are, please?
Yes, so this is the second year of contracting with LSCM, or Lutheran Special Ed Ministries. Previously, we had a teacher that we employed that went out to the non-public schools. Part of Title I is that they receive equitable services, not dollars. So this is, we're contracting with Lutheran Special Ed for them to get the staff people to go out to the 4 different non-public schools there and provide Title I services.
I'll make a motion to approve the Title I services for the following schools: St. John Vianney, St. Paul's Lutheran, Fairmont Christian, and St. James Lutheran.
We have a first and a second. Do we have a second? I'm sorry.
I'll second it.
All right, we have a first and a second. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We have a policy that we need to review. Jen?
So policy 720 21 Uniform Grant Guidance Policy regarding the federal revenue sources states that procurement for micro purchases does not exceed the threshold of $25,000. This amount is periodically adjusted for inflation. This needs to be certified annually. It's a required for our LSEM contracts. So I make a motion to approve policy 721.
I'll second it.
We have a first and a second. Discussion, and just to clarify, the LSEM contracts are the contracts we just approved.
That is correct, yes.
All right, any discussion? All right, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Anyone opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We have under 9C, an organizational item. You'll recall, when the Hunt Farm was sold a few months ago, the plan prior to selling it, and then obviously after, is to invest those funds to remain in perpetuity and to draw the interest from to support our programming. We, at a previous operational committee, I think two of them discussed this and essentially try to find multiple local-based partners to meet with about whether or not they would be a good fit for placement of those funds. And Andy and Jessica met with, how many people did you meet with?
At least 5 off the top of my head.
And it is their recommendation to the operations committee, which has approved it, that we designate Sweet Financial Partners as the depository of the Hunt Farm sale proceed funds. And so I would make a motion that the board approve designating Sweet Financial Partners as the depository of Hunt Farm sale proceeds and authorize the superintendent and business manager to sign release agreements for pledged securities for collateral purposes and any other required documents, and initiate approved electronic fund transfers thereto.
I'll second it.
All right, we have a first and second. Any questions or discussion?
Yes, I do have a question. Now, how is this set up then? It's set up in multiple accounts, or, because I believe as we discussed prior to the sale, after the sale, that there was going to be a portion to be used for our, ag programs and things like that for, the proceeds. But yet there was never supposed to be any loss supposedly of that.
Yep.
So how, if you can explain that to me so the public is aware, because there has been some questions placed to me as in how this was going forward.
Sure. So we have calculated the proceeds that we got from the Hunt Farm. Those will get placed with Sweet Financial, and they'll be invested in CDs, in like bonds, different things that we are restricted with. Pretty much governments can only invest in safe assets, safe investments. And so those CDs don't lose any money. The agency bonds won't lose money. So then we will just get the interest income off of those that we can use to fund, similar to what we have done with the rent in the past, or also reinvest and then, make those dollars also generate interest. So
Okay, thank you for explaining that.
you're welcome.
I think it's a good question, Julie. I think it's important. It's not, they're not buying call or put options. They're not doing complex derivatives or things like that. There are standard government requirements in terms of what we can do. And I think part of your question, Julie, like the funds are one total pot, but the revenue from that will be divided as we discussed. But they're all invested in one, or we're not multiple divestments that we're drawing smaller income from.
And I guess that's part of my question. Maybe I didn't explain it so well, because that's what, individuals had come to me because they were trying to figure out how it was being invested and how we were, saving this much for this, because it was, we know that this land was, never going anyplace until we sold it. And now it's sold. And so we want to make sure that this fund never goes away then either, so.
Correct. Yep, the proceeds are there, so we can't touch the proceeds. It'll just be the interest generated off of them.
Okay.
And additionally, as we, it seems like it's been a while since we've discussed the parameters of this, but our projections in working with Sweet Financial is that our net proceeds that we will use annually will be approximately double what we were receiving in net rental income. which is a huge positive for our students because all of that has to go to scholarships and student enrichment.
Well, the only thing, it's not guaranteed though either. Interest rates are
No.
never guaranteed. You know, just like the rental agreement was never agreed to be a certain dollar amount either. So, you know, but it's just, like I said, just to make sure that everybody's aware.
Yeah, at the current rates, that would be in year one, that is the projected outcome. But in addition to that, the acreage, or the acres that we kept, that we have our partnership agreement that was agreed upon months ago with New AK&H Cooperative for that land. The proceeds come harvest of that, the farming of that land will go directly to our FFA and agricultural programs. So that revenue is in addition to the investment revenue as well. So a lot of, again, positive momentum with the use of those things for our kids, for our programs.
Perfect.
And just to tie it up, the goal isn't to take 100% of the interest proceeds. There would be some of, probably most or half, I don't know what, it depends on what they are, but the pot would grow if you're not taking all of the increase. And there's an opportunity to attract investment or other people that want to leave it in a will or an endowment of some kind. Like it's able to accept additional gifts. So I think the intention is to grow it over time and certainly not have it go smaller. But I appreciate the work you guys did. You didn't have to go talk to as many different organizations as you did, but you clearly did your due diligence on it, and I appreciate that. So, no more discussion, no more questions. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, same side. Motion carries. All right. Personnel, we have a resignation. Mari?
Andrew Peterson, a high school paraprofessional, has submitted a letter of resignation effective 8/21/24. This would have been Andrew's first year in the district. And with that, I will make a motion to accept the resignation of Andrew Peterson, high school paraprofessional, effective 8/21/24.
I'll second it.
All right, we have a first and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Anyone opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We have, I believe, 7 employments that we need to adopt and approve. Julie, you want to go through those quick?
Yes, I will go through these. So principals, first one, Principals Grensteiner and Rosen have recommended that Heidi Walters and Barbara Diaz Guadamino be hired as special ed paraprofessionals for the 24-25 school year. Number 3, Principals Bresky and Schultz have recommended that Carla Weisbrod and Azalea Baxter be hired as special ed paraprofessionals for the 24-25 school years. And Principals Bresky and Schultz have also recommended that Robert Bonin Sr. be hired as a high school welding program aide for the 24-25 school year. And then also Principals Grindsteiner and Rosen have recommended the long-term substitute contract for Emily Lyle be revised to a full year. Preschool teacher contract for the 24-25 school year. She was previously hired as a long-term substitute for just the first semester, and so now we're additionally extending that to the full year. And then Principals Grensteiner and Rosen recommended that Kelsey Gary be hired as a long-term substitute for the first semester effective 8/26/24 to 1/19/25. And Grensteiner and Rosen recommend that Emily Lyle's long-term substitute contract be increased from first semester to a full year substitute for the whole year. So it kind of fits together with the other is how I read it. So that is approving make a motion to approve the hiring of those individuals, the paraprofessionals from the elementary for the high school paraprofessionals. Robert Bonin, welcoming back to the high school welding class as an aide, and then Kelsey Gary as a long-term substitute of a salary BA Step 1 for effective August 26 to January 17. Emily Lyle, elementary long-term substitute with those revised dates. With that.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
We have a first and a second. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Board committee reports. Julie, you had a co-op report?
Yes, I do, just a short one. We just had our organizational meeting last night for the new school year, because this was our first meeting for the fiscal year of the school year. And so, but basically, a lot of what we've done here is the same as, what we did versus the July meetings and the July, but to review the, lunch prices, to review and to acknowledge those. Also with that the Southern Plains students also received the free meals as provided for our state. Also hirings and, some last minute resignations in the departments. And also we, like I said, mostly organizational things. And I think that was basically it. It was fairly short meeting, so.
All right. Any other comments or things discussed? Otherwise, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
A second.
Entertain a motion.
Oh.
I'll make a motion
All
to
right.
adjourn.
Marty makes the
All
motion
right.
to adjourn. Jen seconds it. All in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Meeting adjourned at 5:38 on August 27th.